Bismillah. Greetings to my respected elders, my brothers and my sisters, and all those who are not yet believers. I have been hearing this question recently, receiving a couple of emails about it. Can I make progress on the spiritual path and still have a job, or have a family, or have a husband, or a wife, or have kids, etc., etc., etc.? So I'm going to answer this. But before we get started, brothers and sisters, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. Head over to the channel, join channel membership on whichever level that you feel the value is worth to you. Thank you to all my new channel members and my new subscribers. May Allah bless each and every one of you with peace and prosperity and protection. Ameen. So, spiritual progress while being a householder, okay, is something that a lot of religious traditions make you believe that is not possible. If you look at spiritual traditions of Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Sikhism, etc., etc., you will find that 99%, if not 100% of them, all have some type of monastic way of committing yourself to their particular religion and that particular spiritual path. And because of that, a lot of people think that if you want to make progress on the spiritual path, i.e. purification of the heart, to grow closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to have that spiritual connectedness with Allah, that you have to abandon your marriage, abandon your children, abandon your job. If you're not married, you have to stay not married, all of these things. But nothing could be further from the truth. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in fact married, and he is the greatest example of who we should follow on the spiritual path. That in and of itself should answer your question 100%. But a lot of you might say something like, well, how do I do that? How can I go to work and still have practices in patience, for example? And my response to that is, how can you go to work and not have practices in patience? Some of you will ask, how can I be married and learn to control my anger? How can I have kids and learn to be more patient? And again, I'll ask, how can you be married and how can you have kids and not learn to control your patience, or have more patience, or to not be angry? In fact, I would argue that being married, having a job, having kids affords you more opportunity to practice things such as patience, such as controlling your temper. Any type of spiritual progress that you can make, you have ample opportunity each and every single day to practice those, right? If you're not married and you're living a monastic life, or you are single with no kids, or you are not working a job, at what point can you have the time or opportunity to practice your patience and to practice your loving kindness and your compassion? These are the people that you should be practicing your compassion and loving kindness with the most. And most of us, a lot of us in society, what we do is we treat the people within our own houses worse than we treat people in the world. Make that make sense. So you have to take a few minutes, a few days, a few weeks and give yourself an honest assessment on what your goal is and how do you treat the people in your own home. If you are not treating the people in your own home with patience and kindness and all these things, etc., then you cannot expect to make any spiritual progress. No, absolutely not. And if you feel like you're stuck and that's why, then you're correct. You are correct. In that sense, you are correct. Your family, your job, whatever it might be, is causing you to not make progress on the spiritual path because you aren't even putting those things into practice in your own home, unfortunately. So start there. Before you even do that, you need to define what are your spiritual goals. You can't just give a vague goal like anything else. You know, like you say, I want to make a lot of money. Well, that's vague because a lot of money to some people is $100. You want to be specific with your goals and what it is you're trying to accomplish. I want to make $100 million or whatever it is. You know, I want to get my salary to 6 figures a year. I want to get my salary to $50,000 a year. No goal is too big or small, by the way. Setting the goal is the important thing and setting it specifically. But the same applies on the spiritual path. You can't say, well, I want to be more compassionate. Well, who do you want to be more compassionate with? Strangers? Chances are, you're already more compassionate with strangers because you don't know them and you don't want any kind of conflict or confrontation with them. So when you encounter them in the supermarket or at work or whatever it is, you're going to show them a bit more patience and a bit more restraint than you would with the people in your own home. Alright? So, you want to be more compassionate with the people in your home. First and foremost, be more compassionate with yourself. And this takes practice. You have to love yourself. That old cliche saying, you have to love yourself before you love anybody. You're going to love yourself differently. And I posit to say that we love each person that we encounter differently. You're not going to love your husband the same way that you would love your dad, obviously. You're not going to love your wife the same way that you would your mom or your sister. Okay? Certain aspects of that love are equal and the same. But in an overall general sense, they're absolutely not. So you have to be more definitive on what it is you're trying to accomplish and give yourself an honest assessment on where you believe you're at. Am I compassionate with strangers? Yes. Am I not compassionate with myself? Probably not. Am I not compassionate with the people in my house? Probably not. I've seen parents who will scream at their kids and use the foulest of language, and then they will go to the store and kick it with their homegirl or kick it with their homeboy and laugh, giggle, and cut up. So my kids make me mad. Well, where's your loving kindness? Where's your patience? Where's your restraint? Where's your compassion? Where is fighting the knives, the ego? So, I just want to touch base real quick on that. It's something to consider, brothers and sisters, if you are on the spiritual path and you're looking to make any kind of progress and you believe that you are being held back by being a layman or a householder or, you know, somebody who has a husband or has a wife or has kids or whatever the case may be. These things will not handicap you. It's about your perspective. You have to change your perspective around to the current situation and see what it is that can benefit you within your particular circumstances without being too judgmental on the negative aspect of it. You say, well, my wife is a tyrant. Everything I say, she hates me. She, da-da-da-da. Well, that's great. Congratulations. Allah has given you the perfect opportunity to practice your patience and to practice your compassion for people who don't deserve it or who you think don't deserve it. All people deserve compassion. Chances are, if they're acting that way, it's because they didn't receive some type of love, some type of affection, some type of attention, some type of compassion. And now they are spoiled grown women acting like babies, or spoiled grown men acting like babies. There are men out there who do just the same. But you have to look at yourself and consider what it is you're trying to accomplish and consider the circumstances of your particular situation and how to adjust your goals accordingly and start small and be consistent. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves things that we are consistent in. Okay? So consider that as well when formulating your plan. And I suggest that you write these things down on paper, because when you write them on paper, you take them from one realm of existence in the mind to the realm of existence in the physical world. You make them a reality. Not that they have already happened, but you have brought them from one plane of existence, aka the mental plane, and you have placed them into the physical reality, the physical world. Don't put them on your phone in your little notepad. Don't do that. I hate the notepad on the phone because people will use that, and to me it's like a tiny lockbox where your thoughts go, or your dreams and your plans go to die. That's all it is. So consider that. Consider what I'm saying. Be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. Share the content across your platforms, inshallah. And thanks again for watching. Because of you, everything is possible. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless each and every one of you with peace and prosperity and protection. Ameen. Until next time, brothers and sisters, remember that there is one God and only one God, and He alone is worthy of worship.